Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 2013 Nissan 370Z NISMO. Up front is a 3.7 liter V6, and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this Nissan 370Z NISMO for two reasons. First of all, this bridges a gap in my NISMO Z lineage. I've driven the 350Z NISMO, and I've driven the new Nissan Z NISMO. But today, we get to take a look at the 370. The second reason I'm super excited is just because it's a manual V6 sports car. I'm excited to share it with you, but I do have one thing to say beforehand. This does have a 2015 facelift bumper on the front, so it might look like a 2015, but this is actually a 2013. We'll talk about that later. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. Last but not least, huge thank you to North Naperville Autos for letting me borrow their 370Z for today's video. If you'd like to browse their inventory, you can do so down in the description below. But let's get back to that 3.7 liter V6 under the hood. Well, that was the standard engine that came in all 370Zs. The 370 lasted from 2009 until 2020. An 11-year model run. However, the NISMO does get a power bump up to 350 horsepower, which is definitely a very good number and more than enough to have fun in a car like this. It has that signature VQ noise to it. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm rather indifferent on it. I don't think it's as terrible as everyone always makes it sound like, but it's also not my favorite sounding engine of all time. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual. The NISMO was only available with a manual transmission, unlike the modern Z that was automatic only for a little while. Now they are introducing the manual. But this is stick shift only, and this is the first vehicle from Nissan to receive auto rev matching. So there's a button to the upper right of the transmission that says S mode, and when going down a gear, all you have to do is clutch in, go down the gear, and the car will rev up to make the shift perfect. Very, very cool technology, and it makes you feel very cool behind the wheel. Last but not least, of course, the 370Z NISMO is rear-wheel drive, and the NISMO does get a limited slip differential. How does it feel to drive the 370Z NISMO? It's mostly good. It's quick, it's fun, it's sporty, the shifter's great. The clutch is pretty heavy, however, this does have an aftermarket clutch, so the standard clutch normally is not heavy like it is here today. I am struggling with visibility quite a bit. Now, this does have aftermarket tints on the side windows that certainly don't help, but the overall cocoon or shell of the 370Z is pretty narrow. You do kind of get Mustang Challenger visibility out of this thing, and especially out of the back, it is not good at all. But the ride quality is fine, and it's just such a blast to drive that you don't really have to worry about it. The VQ would like to show you the song of its people now, if that's okay. Okay? All right. Noisy. I don't know if this exhaust is my particular taste, but the power is. I don't mind that part. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a couple of gauges. So off to the left is our coolant and fuel that are almost these like health bars, as well as a little digital readout giving me some additional information. In the center is our tachometer. love the center mounted tachometer. I think every sports car should have a center mounted tachometer, and it will tell you what gear you're in before you drop the clutch. Off to the right is our speedometer and odometer. On the steering wheel on the left, we have our skip track, source, and volume, and off to the right, we have our cruise control options. To the left of everything, we get a tiny little vent as well as our traction control off. And moving out of the door, we have the climate vent, latching it in and out, power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we get our 3 Nissan Z gauges. They've done this since day one in all of their Z products. Here we have oil temperature, battery voltage, and a clock. And then we get a big storage cubby in the center. I kind of like the functionality of it. It's a little ugly, but it works and it's nice. That's surrounded by 2 climate vents. Down below that, we have the standard 370Z NISMO radio and our climate controls. Fan speed off to the left, temperature in the center, where to send it off to the right. We also have our hazard switch and that S mode by the shifter. The shifter itself is pretty plain Jane, nothing really too notable about it. It's a leather shift knob, but it feels more economy-based than special. I would have loved some red stitching or the word NISMO on it. And then annoyingly, behind the shifter, we have 3 dead switches. The NISMO was the top trim, so kind of annoying to see a panel like this when you're paying the most amount of money for a car. Now, this would have been for the convertible top options of the convertible, and the NISMO wasn't offered with a convertible, but still annoying to see. But then we do have a cup holder. We'll do a big friggin' bottle test, and it fails, but I could have told you that a long time ago. A center console and the seats. The seats do say NISMO. They are cloth, and they are very comfortable. I enjoy them quite a bit, and they are relatively big guy friendly. So I'm about 270, 5'11", and I fit in here, which is definitely very nice. Now, thankfully for me, we don't have any back seats for me to jam myself into, but we do have a trunk, so let's hop out and talk about that. So you gotta come up here. Underneath the Nissan badge, there is a button. Pull it up like that, and then we have our trunk of the 370Z NISMO. This is an aftermarket floor mat. It's a nice one, but aftermarket, so that is not original. And you can pull it up. Nothing really to note back here. It is a decent size for being a 2-door coupe. You know, I'm sure you could fit your groceries and backpacks back here, but if you're moving across the country, I would not recommend doing it here in the 370Z NISMO. Now, I do want to point out one thing that I forgot to mention on the interior, and then we'll talk about the exterior, but if we come inside here, we do get a serial number, so Z34, 13 is the year, and 0281 for the NISMO. So we do get a badge. I was wanting it right here just to fill in that space of the buttons, but we do still get one nevertheless. So very, very cool, but now let's talk about the exterior. Now we gotta talk about the looks. As I mentioned, I wanna make this very clear. It has a front bumper from a facelift 370Z, so it looks appearance-wise like a 2015, but it's actually a 2013. I think it does look good. I think the pre-facelift bumper that this car would have originally came with was a little bit gaudy, so a previous owner swapped in a more modern one, and I think it enhances the look tremendously. This is also on aftermarket wheels. It has an aftermarket exhaust as well. So a couple of things have been changed visually, but I'd say done very tastefully. I enjoy it, and I think it looks proper enough. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Nissan 370Z NISMO? Well, I've really enjoyed this experience, obviously. Nissan Z cars have always been pretty good throughout their entire lineage, and that's hard to achieve. There were decades where the Mustang was not good. There was a few years where the Miata wasn't very good. Nissan has somehow been able to pull off the fact that no matter what year Z you buy, it's going to be a fun driving experience. And that's true here with the NISMO. The NISMO just heightens everything just that little bit more. It gets a little bit more power. It feels a little bit more special, looks a little different. And so last fall, I was actually at dinner with Nissan down at SEMA, and we were there for the Armada NISMO, which might be a silly automobile, and it kind of is, but we had a long talk about NISMO. And they told me that NISMO is very important to Nissan, and they don't want to besmirch that. So they told me that every NISMO product that they're unveiling is going to get a power bump, is going to get handling upgrades and interior upgrades. And so they know what they're doing, and the new Nissan Z is fantastic, and this Z is great as well. It just feels like a more free and open version of the 370. This feels unbound by worldly issues. This feels unconcerned with anything besides driving experience. And it's such a great driving experience. 350 horsepower in a two-door manual coupe is perfect. It's more than enough to have fun with, but not too much to handle. I would feel comfortable letting an inexperienced friend or relative drive this car. At the end of the day, this is a manual sports car that 3D prints the biggest smile onto my face every single time. Yeah, this particular one's a little bit noisy, can't deny that fact, and the clutch is a little unforgiving, but that can all be fixed and changed. I'm not going to dock the Nissan 370Z NISMO points for certain modifications that a previous owner made. But the core of it, the bones of this car are very, very good, very fun, and I don't care how long they made this car. It's good. If you buy an 09, it's good. You buy a 2020, it's good. What more is there to say? Not much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to North Naperville Autos for letting me borrow their 370Z NISMO. They are absolutely wonderful to work with. I've reviewed so many of their vehicles. They do offer financing, shipping to the 48 states, as well as they are Carfax certified. They offer mobile detailing. They are really, truly the one-stop shop for automotive purchases in the Chicago suburbs. So please go check out North Naperville Autos with the link down in the description below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.